There are roads. We once walked with all the dreams of our youth, and it is on that very road that one day we return, not to search for what was lost, but to face ourselves. This is the story of a man at 60 and the latest homecoming of his life. A gray afternoon. Clouds veil the sky. James walks slowly along the narrow road leading back to the town, the place he left at the age of 20. Dust clings to his shoes. The smell of damp earth blends with the autumn wind. He looks to both sides of the road. The small houses are still there. Some have been repainted, some lie silent as if time itself has fallen asleep. A few elderly people sit on their porches, glancing at him. They do not recognize him. Or perhaps they once did, but human memory is like an old rooftop, peeling away with the years. James smiles softly, a tired smile. The day I left, was this road really this small? Or is it simply that I have grown old? He pauses for a long time at the corner that once was an old bakery. In the past, his mother would bring him here every Sunday afternoon. Now, only a faded wooden sign remains. For a moment, James feels as though he is still that 18-year-old boy, reckless, impatient to leave this place. But today, he walks on, as if returning to repay a debt to time. The house appears before his eyes. The old wooden gate, wrapped thick with climbing vines. The fence leans to one side like an old man resting on a cane. James places his hand on the latch, cold, dry, uneven. The sound of the gate opening, hoarse, like a voice from the past being spoken again after many years. The front yard is filled with dry leaves. The steps are cracked in places. The flower pot his mother once cared for is now just bare soil. James bends down, picks up a fallen leaf. It is brittle and crumbles in his hand. Like the years he has dropped along the way, no longer able to piece them back together. He steps into the house. The silence is so deep, he can hear the sound of his own heartbeat. The wooden table where his father once sat reading the newspaper. The scratched glass cabinet. The chair where his mother used to sit and mend clothes. Everything is still there, only the people are gone. James gently touches the surface of the table. A thick layer of dust coats his fingers like a layer of time he has missed. In his mind, an old voice echoes, "James, have you eaten yet? Your father told you not to come home so late anymore. My son, don't be so hot-tempered." He opens his eyes. No one is there. Only an empty house and a man who has returned too late to sit down at the dinner table of his life. James sits down on the old chair. The wind blows through the window frame. A wave of memories surges in. Back then, his father was a strict man, quiet, full of principles. Young James wanted to break every boundary, wanted to leave the town he believed was far too small. The final argument from that year still echoes in his mind. "I want to go to the city. There's no future here." The future doesn't always lie in a farther place. You don't understand me. One day you will understand James. The day he left, his mother stood at the door, handed him a bag of pastries. She said nothing, just looked at him for a long time. That day, he didn't look back. Today, he wishes he had turned back just once. Many years in the city, James built a career. He had a house, a car, a family. But every evening when the lights dimmed in the high-rise apartment, he felt like a guest in his own life. Family dinners were brief. His children grew up following their own rhythms. His wife was tired, quiet. Everything became obligation without warmth. On some nights, he looked out at the bright city lights and asked himself, have I truly been happy? What have I traded to have this life? The answer only came when he received the news of his parents' passing, and he hadn't made it home in time. From that day on, there has always been an empty space in his heart. James steps into the kitchen, the old pot, the black iron stove, the cloth his mother once hung in the corner of the wall. The afternoon light slips through the window, shining onto the wooden dining table where his family once gathered. He gently pulls out a chair, sits down in the very seat that used to be his. In his imagination, He hears his mother's soft footsteps behind him. "My son, this time you're back. How long can you stay?" James wants to answer, "I want to stay forever." But he knows no one can hear him anymore. He places his hand on the table, and for the first time in many years, he quietly cries. Night falls, no lights, only pale moonlight spilling across the floor. James lies on the old bed, the place that was once the safest corner of his childhood. The house breathes slowly like the weary heart of an old soul. The wind slips through the window frame, the ticking clock repeats itself as if reminding him that it is too late for many things. He whispers into the darkness, "Father, Mother, I'm home." No one answers, only a silence filled with tenderness and a gentle reproach. Close to midnight, James stands up, looks around the old room. He sees a small wooden box lying inside the drawer of his childhood desk, thick with dust, yet kept so carefully as if someone had saved it for the day he returned. He opens the lid. Inside is an old letter, his father's familiar handwriting. The paper has yellowed, but every line remains clear, like the voice of someone long gone, still waiting to be heard. His hands tremble, his heart pounds. He reads the first line, "To my son, if one day you return." James stops, unable to read on, because he knows every word in that letter will be a blade cutting into the regret he has buried for so many years. He tightens his grip around the letter and gently closes his eyes. That night, James does not sleep. He sits by the table, the warm yellow light casting across a face lined with wrinkles. Outside, the wind blows. Inside, there is only him and the letter he has not finished reading. What was it that Father wanted to say, and why is it that only now, after coming back, I finally have the courage to listen? The answer lies inside that letter. And when James reads it, everything he once believed about youth, about his father, about life, will change forever. See you in episode 2, The Letters That Were Never Sent, where James faces the words his father never had the chance to say and confronts the part of himself he abandoned for a lifetime.